Hi, I am Lars Ballow. I just want to give you a short introduction to some of the equipment that I am using during a live streaming. So right now I am using this equipment that you see here. The camera that I'm using is the Nikon D800. It's quite an old camera, but that's the only DSLR. Well, not the only one I have, but that is still the newest cam that I have. I am using it with a lens, which is quite nice, the 35mm lens, 1.4, and right now it is on 2.2, so that is why you got this kind of blurry background of what we call boogie when we're using it in a photo mode. So the equipment that I'm using is of course the Nikon D800, but it is an HDMI cable. So what I'm done to get this into the camera feed on my PC is using the Elgato HD60S Plus and then converting the HDMI signal into a USB, so that is connected directly into my Surface Pro, and then I have from the audio device that I'm using right now, which you could probably see just here, is the Røde NT1. So the thing that I'm using here is the NT1 that is connected through XLR to the Zoom H6, which I'm using right now. I'm using it for only one microphone, but the thing I like about this audio mixer is that you are able to connect several microphones. So for instance, right now I am using the NT1 microphone, but I could also be using several other microphones. So I also do have a couple of the Rode Wireless Go with the external lavalier microphones. I know that you could use it alone. But the thing that I do is that I would like to have a more simple setup, and on the recordings I don't want to have microphones or the big bumpy microphones that you could actually have from the transmitter itself. So that's the thing that I like about it. But going back to the setup that I'm doing right now, the thing that I'm doing is that I have the Stream Deck right here. So let me take this one up. I'm using the Stream Decks. I'm using the 15 bottle panels. It's quite difficult to get the focal on this one. So it is a 50 button panel, and I can do programming on each one of them. So that is what I have done right now. I do a different kind of setup every time I do the recording, but it's quite easy to do a new programming for the Stream Deck, and I do have the 15 button panels. You could also have other different kind of panels. So let me swap back to this one. So what I've done here is that I have grabbing the content from my external feed. I do have a Surface Pro down here, and then I do have did a transform or cropping of my picture, and then added also my name and my title down here, and then I will be able to through a recording on OBS or through a live streaming OBS as the encoder into Microsoft live event, I will be able to do a recording on different kind of setup and things that I would like to present. So basically I'm using a lot of different setup depending on the situation that I do the live streaming in, but in this one, for instance, quite simple setup, a Brio cam that I'm also using sometimes, normally for every meeting that I have, with the external Rode Wireless Go and the small lavalier microphone. The other thing that I do is if I want to have a live streaming setup in my living room, I do it with a Logitech Rally Cam, still with Rode Wireless Go microphones. Another thing that I'm doing right now is that using the Nikon D800 with the Elgato HDMI capture card, that is quite nice, and I think it will give the video feed another feel, since that I could choose what kind of depth that I want in the picture, and now I'm not just using it directly on my PC. I doesn't have added any other light, which I normally do. I do only have normal lights, and it's quite dark outside since it's during the night here. So from the camera feed, I can get this background blur effect or the background bogey. So depending on the setup that I would like to have, I can do the setting on the camera myself. So I kind of like that setup. Another thing that I experienced is that sometimes we don't have the lip sync. So in that case, I do connect my microphones to the camera. It's not what I've done right now, so I'm looking forward to see how the lip sync is doing right now, this setup, since the NT1 microphone is connected to the Zoom H6 and then directly into my PC. As you might understand, compared to the different kind of setup, I'm using a lot of different kind of cameras. So right now I've added the Nikon D800, but I am also using the Brio, which I'm using right now. I do use the Logitech Meetup, and I use the Røde Cam. I do also use the Hotly IQ and the Jabra or the Panacast 3. So depending on what kind of scenario that it is, I choose this specific cam for that kind of situation. So thanks for watching.